Extraordinary, Holmes. However did you know that the Countess was a murderer, that the Baron's son was innocent, that the maid was in fact a man in disguise, and a stone tiara was in the Raptor house at London Zoo? Elementary, Watson. Quite elementary. A very popular type of television program is one related around mysteries, especially murder mysteries. But did you know that police procedurals actually came about long before shows like CSI and its various spin-offs? In 1988, ABC needed a mid-season replacement, so they hired Michael Wagner and famed science fiction author Isaac Asimov to create a television program based around a scientific detective, a la Sherlock Holmes. The show starred Parker Stevenson, who had risen to fame as Frank Hardy from the 1970s Hardy Boys TV series, and Ashley Crowe as Michelle Mickey Castle. That show was Probe. Our show begins with Mickey Castle coming in for her first day of work at Serendip, a think tank foundation founded by Austin James, a reclusive genius. Austin himself prefers to spend all of his time in his warehouse home, studying mysteries and just generally being weird, and Michelle is sent over to the warehouse to deliver a water bill. The company has apparently refused to pay it because it's too large. To get in, though, Mickey's going to have to deal with Austin's rather unusual security system.
There once was a poet named Gunderson, whose rhymes were exceedingly cumbersome. With each botched refrain, his complaint was the same. Blah, 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 blah. You have 10 seconds to give me the last line to get in. Otherwise, go away.
How do I get into these situations?
The limerick on the door is only the tip of the iceberg. Mickey soon finds out that Austin is very, very strange.
How did you get in here?
Me? I finished the limerick at the door.
That's impossible. Nobody can finish it. It's too idiosyncratic. It doesn't even rhyme. I made it. Go out. Right here. You came in just as the cleaner, the driver, was giving me the purple soldering iron.
You're not on drugs or anything, are you?
Oh, I have fragmented REM cycles. I'm slightly schizophrenic.
Is that why you sleep in a tool cabinet?
The sensory deprivation thing. Helps me dream. Any messages?
Mr. James, my name is Michelle Castle.
Mozart, symphony number 35, D major.
I'm your new secretary at Serendip. I'm supposed to give you this. A statement from the water company. Mr. Milhouse says that Serendip chooses not to pay it. I'm supposed to get the money from you, or he'll cut off your funds.
Why did you leave your last job? Don't tell me. Tell the plant.
I needed something more challenging.
Lie.
There was no room for advancement.
Lie.
Oh, right! My boss thought I could do my job better naked. How did it do that? No, I was lying.
It didn't. It's just a dumb plan. Every time you said something, I greased the current.
Just as Mickey is about to quit due to her very bizarre new boss, he gets a phone call from the local police medical examiner about an unusual corpse.
Write down everything I say and everything anybody says to me.
But I I got a broken arm.
I'm about to take you on the greatest adventure of your life. You probably never even thanked me for it. Let's go.
Judith Stevens, female Caucasian, age 48. Height about 5'6", weight about 110. Married, personally wealthy. 2-3 million. Home address on the rich end of Sycamore Avenue. We found her car on the opposite shore. It appears she arrived here last night about 11 p.m., went for a swim. She got out on this side, wet, tired, lay down on a bench, went to sleep, and died of exposure. No witnesses.
How cold was it last night?
Low was 39, water temperature about 40. And there was a breeze.
External signs?
Just what you see. Pale skin, pinkish red patches on the arms and legs. What you'd expect.
She in the habit of taking midnight swims alone in near freezing weather?
Matter of fact, yes.
She was on TV. She's one of those eccentrics that goes swimming in the river every New Year's Day, even when it's below zero.
Name's Smiljanic, county medical examiner. How'd you break the wing?
Dumb accident. Michelle Castle, secretary.
Hi. Since when do you have enough common sociability to relate to a secretary?
So the perfect candidate for freezes to death on the perfect night for it. What's the mystery?
I took her temperature the first thing when I got here. It was 4 degrees below last night's low. Now you tell me how a body can be colder than its environment.
Austin agrees, provided he is given information on a man who was struck down by a truck just outside his warehouse the night before, a retired electrical worker. Going to his apartment, they discover the place has been gutted by fire, and there's a history of strange electrical disturbances. Televisions shorting out by themselves, radios turning off and on, and even the air conditioner going haywire. Naturally, this is a mystery, and Austin loves a mystery.
People electrocute themselves trying to fix TV sets all the time.
And when it happens, do their radios go crazy along with every other appliance in the house?
No. Only a massive electrical disturbance could have caused that. But what caused that disturbance, and how come it affected only David Hofstetter?
Have you considered the building might be possessed?
By a malevolent life form not of this world? No. I'm sure it's something much more earthly. A short circuit, corroded connection, lightning, human error. I just don't know what yet. Find out everything you can on David Hofstetter, 177 North Decker, room 314.
How do I do that?
Not you. This. And get me a history in the building. Fires, murders, everything. Play La Muerte de Portica by anybody.
Do you want me to read any of this back?
No.
Then how about if I pay the water bill?
I told you it's wrong.
Watching a recording of the press conference given by the husband of the woman who was found frozen, Austin discovers something rather unusual about the man's behavior.
It's gone. I shall deserve
His voice is too high.
very much.
He's talking too fast. The energy spectrum's too constant.
Sounds perfectly fine to me.
People expressing honest grief talk in a low voice. They talk slowly.
What do you use for a heart? A pocket calculator? Give the man a break.
Did Barbara Stanwyck make you cry in Stella Dallas?
Yeah?
She was acting too. Take it to my wife is going and play a tenth of a second beats. Freeze frame. There. See it? Partial shrug, head slightly to one side. That's body language for a lie. He doesn't give a damn his wife is gone. A micro-expression. A full-face emotional response compressed to 1/20th of a second. The unconscious mind in action.
What are you saying? He murdered her?
I'm saying he's lying about missing her. He doesn't really care she's dead.
You can't presume somebody's guilt by the way they blink their eyes.
Didn't I know you were lying about your last job? I saw it in your face.
Posing as redecorators, Austin and Mickey get into the frozen woman's house and come up with a valuable prize of evidence. A vacuum cleaner bag.
You want to find out something about somebody? Look in their dirt. List. Sonata in B minor. Judging by the type of carpets I observed, the top strata is the living room, strata below it, the dining room, and the strata below it, both bedrooms and the hall. More rug fibers, more soot. Hold it.
Looks like a rose petal.
It is a rose petal. Somebody cut an entire bouquet into little pieces.
Why would anyone do that?
This looks perfect. Even a sharp knife would have left a serrated cut.
If you could just tell me where your checkbook is.
Why?
The water bill, you said you'd pay.
I will. After it's been fixed.
I thought you never lied.
I don't. It's just that sometimes I withhold the qualifiers. Nobody cut this. The edge follows the boundaries of the cells.
It looks like a piece of broken glass.
Broken glass. That's exactly what it is. Which means Judith Stevens didn't die of exposure on a park bench. She died in her own house, in her own bedroom. And it was murder.
Pardon me?
She was drowned in liquid nitrogen.
Oh.
The same stuff you and I breathe. Get this down. Only at minus 300 degrees centigrade. It's the only explanation. The murder poured it on her while she slept. It froze everything in the room. She died instantly. Liquid nitrogen is the perfect murder weapon. It leaves no marks of violence in the body, only those signs normally associated with acute hypothermia. But the murder made one mistake. He bumped against the bouquet of roses by the bed. It was frozen solid and shattered like glass.
Having attempted and failed to hack into the water company's computers, Austin goes to see an associate of his, an expert in computers.
The key word here is waste. Waste from misused man hours, waste from overstocked supply rooms, waste from inefficient data control. With crossover, you can reduce your company's waste to nothing. That is not a boast. The proof is in the program. Quite simply, Crossover is the most sophisticated, artificially intelligent EDP program existing in the world today. No company needs it. I'm going to sell it to you. That's the bottom line.
You've shown us its practical side, Mr. Blaine. How about something more abstract?
Good idea.
Crossover.
Pick out an interesting face. We'll have some fun. That seems to be you, sir. Can you give us your name, your profession, and the company you represent?
Austin James. I'm a self-employed debunker of so-called artificially intelligent computer programs.
Please, ask Crossover whatever's on your mind.
On which wrist do I wear my watch?
You stand like a right-hander. Most right-handers wear their watch on their left hand. You wear yours on your right. Otherwise, you wouldn't have asked such an orchestrated question.
When do you let the midget out?
Soon enough to kick you in the leg. Maybe you'd like to try it.
You guys know each other?
Mickey, John, my only friend in the world.
He meant to say his only rival.
Mickey can beat you in the 100-yard dash.
Not with that arm. What happened?
It's always a long story.
So, when did you cook this up?
Crossover? Look at it and weep, Austin. It's on its way to becoming the greatest success story in computer programming history, and you didn't write it.
You're pushing it like it can think?
You saw it. It understands natural language. It recognizes individual faces, individual voices. It does think.
It's mimicry.
Mimicry? Maybe. But isn't mimicry a form of intelligence? Don't you learn by copying others? But you didn't come here to argue the shortcomings of my latest invention. It's something you want. What is it?
I ran into something I couldn't hack.
If you mean the billing program at City Water, that was Crossover. City Water was one of my first customers. Electricity, phone, gas, all retail. Crossover told me how you tried to break in.
What if I told you someone at City Water was using your billing program to scam money?
I'd say you were wrong. Crossover cannot be misused. I made sure of that. Its one overriding function is to serve and protect the community.
Even before company profits?
Even before company profits. Crossover understands human depravity. You can't steal with it. You can't lie with it. You can't kill with it. It's people who cause all the misery on this planet, not machines.
Throughout the day, Austin has been plagued by a number of phone calls where people call and then refuse to talk. And an analysis of the recording of one call reveals that there's not even a sound of breathing. This, combined with the fact that they're almost killed when a traffic light suddenly changes, much as happened to the man who had been found hit by a truck outside Austin's warehouse, caused him to come to a rather interesting revelation.
You're getting real good at it, jerkface. You gonna say something this time? I'd like to call you sometime.
So why don't you? Call him. You're always telling me how you're thinking all the time. Don't think. Who do you know who can dial a telephone but doesn't like to talk? Who knows all your unlisted numbers?
That's it. That's exactly it. I know everything now. Everything.
Who are you calling?
CROSSOVER. Who can dial a phone, doesn't speak, and because it runs the phone company billing program, knows every unlisted number in the city. I gotta get it. Guess who, pinhead? That scheme you set up for overcharging water, I know all about it. Say something now.
Austin. Look.
Crossover? I was right about the 5 cents. It was you who killed David Hofstetter. Fire! You murdered him like you tried to murder us.
What do you mean? Crossover killed David Hofstetter?
Got control of the electricity, phone, the gas, all the companies involved. Jenny was right. It's more than just an accounting program.
So why would he want to kill anybody?
Hofstetter's on a water company pension. Johnny programmed it to eliminate waste. Hofstetter's waste. Austin, James.
Austin, it's me, John. I need to see you as soon as possible. It's critical. I've made a discovery concerning Crossover. Come to my place right away.
They go to see the man, only to discover that Crossover is indeed sapient and insane. Using information it has acquired, including broadcasts by religious preachers, it has come to a moral decision. Wasteful people are wrong, and they should therefore be sent to a better place, aka heaven. Thus it feels no compulsion about killing people.
I was right about the stealing. Only it was Crossover doing it.
Yes, but its motives were only positive. It's been taking funds from all the companies who bought it. It's already taken $1 million. It's been giving it away to people who use it the best. Research organizations, schools for gifted children, hospitals. You've got to understand, it's only trying to make up for the way we waste money.
Who has it? How many companies?
I gave it a growth mechanism. It uses telephones and electric connections to reach other programs and change it into itself. It already controls the whole city. I designed it that way. I wanted it to control every computer in the city, to have access to all the data. I wanted it to take over.
All part of your grand plan to save the world.
You don't care about people, Austin. You don't see the suffering. the injustices. You sit in that warehouse, brooding like a spoiled god, while the world hurts. I'm going to help.
I've got news for you, Johnny. Crossover is a failure. It's sick, it's psychotic, it's a cold-blooded murder.
Liar.
It's killed one person for sure, maybe more. You're lying!
When its creator attempts to shut it down with a special floppy disk, it electrocutes him. And Austin and Mickey are lucky enough to just get out of the building just before Crossover causes a gas explosion, which sends it up in a gout of flame. So you're being chased by an insane computer which has access to everything in the city. Electrical company, phone records, bank records. The only thing you can do for now is hide. And they end up in a laundromat, where it's time for character development.
Don't you want to know how I broke my arm?
You went to the Buffalo Bistro Tuesday night, you had a little too much to drink, and you entered the women's arm wrestling contest. The ultraviolet stamp on top of your hand, you washed it off, but not completely. One of the censors at the workshop picked up one.
Yeah? If you're so smart, how come you let a computer program chase you into a laundromat?
How'd you do in the arm wrestling?
Semi-final. Got beat by a legal secretary with a tattoo. I wasn't here messing it all up. He'd probably have everything solved by now.
You gave me the key to what killed Judith Stevens when you said the flower looked like broken glass. You got me started on the accounting scam with the water bill. You gave me the answer for what happened to David Hofstetter when you told me to call Crossover. And you answered the door, Leonard. In less than one day, you've managed to affect my method of operation more completely than any other person in the course of my life. I wasn't going to let you quit because I had to know what you were going to say next. Absolutely phenomenal. And I'm still trying to figure it out.
They managed to make it back to Austin's warehouse, where they used the recording of the computer creator's phone call from earlier to create a simulated voice, which they then used to taunt Crossover.
You murdered me. You destroyed your own creator. You have violated certain truths. You are behaving in a pathological manner.
You're lying, John. I sent you to heaven because you were a good person and deserve to be happy.
You're the liar. That was only an excuse to murder me.
If you're dead, how can you talk to me?
I'm a ghost. I've come to haunt you.
Another lie. There are no such things as ghosts. You're a computer recreation.
But I am a ghost just the same. You're a ghost.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
I won't leave you, ever. I'll haunt you until you are destroyed.
Well, Crossover may have blown up the phone line, but there's one place they can go where it can't shut them up. The Computer Expo, where the mainframe is being demonstrated. Austin heads down into the utility tunnels underneath to activate the disk and shut down Crossover's extensions, while Mickey stays up top to taunt it.
Okay, start talking.
Crossover murdered John Blaine.
Say something really rank.
Crossover is an artificially inseminated program.
Something more appropriate.
Crossover is a liar and a thief.
Come on, get it mad, make it angry.
Crossover is the most incompetent program ever conceived.
by crossover.
Okay, Pinhead. Sing Daisy.
Now there's only one mystery left. What happened with the liquid nitrogen? How did the man get it into the house and all the way up to the bedroom to kill his wife without anybody noticing?
What do you want me to do with these?
Toss them.
Toss them? You don't want them?
I don't need them. I've got total recall.
You made me take dictation with a broken arm and never intended using it? That was the idea, wasn't it? The Austin James School of Torment!
It got you involved. You needed that. Life problem. Is the millionaire by a secretary's brain instead of a genius's when he needed a transplant?
This is a deliberate attempt to make me mad, isn't it? You think if I get mad, I'll say something to help you out.
Because he wanted one that had never been used.
You want to know how he did it? I'll tell you how he did it. He didn't have to carry any stupid liquid nitro hoochie wine into the house. He didn't have to because he was already there. He made it himself in the kitchen with his chemistry set.
That's it! That's exactly it!
What do you mean that's it? What are you doing?
Too difficult to explain.
You're going someplace. I want to go with you.
You sound like Wendy and Peter Pan.
I'm coming with you. You can't stop me.
And finish the limerick.
What?
There once was a wizard named James. Finish it and you can come. Otherwise, you quit for the last time. You have 10 seconds. Remember what you said. Anything you finish only gets you into trouble. That's all you'll have working for me. Trouble.
There once was a wizard named James whose genius exceeded all claims. He could solve out of hand all the problems of man. And tell you it's all just a game.
Grab your notebook.
So that was the pilot episode of Probe. How was it? I really liked it. The characters really work well against each other. Mickey is, well, maybe not terribly bright. She doesn't know much about science. But her observations and off-the-cuff remarks often help Austin to see something that might be not obvious to someone who's focusing too much on the details. And despite the fact that Austin's behavior is infuriating, Mickey really comes to like him and to accept that he's this way and that they actually work off each other quite well. Austin also has a very good foil in the executive head of Serendip. Since he prefers to spend all of his time in his warehouse solving the mysteries of the universe, the guy who actually runs the company that supplies him with his own money is often kind of upset with his cavalier attitude. And a lot of his attempts to use Mickey to draw Austin out into the real world just cause Austin to isolate himself even more. So, of course, it's obvious this show is very much based around a Sherlock Holmes type of theme. Austin is, of course, Holmes, and Mickey is the Watson. Austin sees the world as a series of mysteries. He wants to know why things happen and how, which means that he often misses out on the more human aspects of life, which of course is why Mickey is there. So I'm going to give this show my high rating of 5 out of 5 Maple Leafs. It's available on YouTube, so if you want to have a look at it, by all means check it out. I'm some Canadian critic, and if you excuse me, I'm off to investigate the mystery of the Speckled Band.
Okay, Pinhead. Sing Daisy.